Dr. King would absolutely say that the dream is alive. He would see children of color are reaching places never reached before, running the world, living together without hate, and working together for a common good. But he would know that there's still so much work ahead of us. Because more than a quarter of our young people, 1.2 million young people each year, drop out of high school, walk out of our schools, and into the streets. In our inner cities, the statistics are much worse. Of those that are lucky enough to graduate, 60% of those that do go to college need remedial education. They're not ready. Far too many of our young people aren't ready for college, they're not ready for a career, and they're not ready for life. And when that's the case, there are no good options for them. Dr. King would see a nation that is changing, that is increasingly black and brown, and will be majority minority by 2050, not before. He would see resegregated communities, schools that are far from equal, and opportunities that are still denied. He would say that integration alone will not guarantee opportunity. We need educational equity even when integration is not possible. We need equity because our children must learn to love each other and to live together. Because you can't build gates high enough to keep people apart. Because in a global economy, tolerance and mutual respect is a moral imperative and an economic imperative. And he would stand here today in his church and call on a new generation of leaders to build on his work by doing the most important thing every one of us can do. Get an education, learn to think, learn to compete, learn to win, and learn to help each other. Today, how would Dr. King define freedom? What is freedom? If you can't read, I promise you, you are not free. You may not see it, you may not know it, but you are still in shackles. Freedom is not only the right just to sit in front of the bus. It's not just the right to be able to sit and eat at a lunch counter. It's not just the right to own your own home in a neighborhood of your choosing. Freedom is the ability to think and to pursue your own path, and only education can give you that freedom. Only education can free you from those shackles. When King sat in that Birmingham jail, some of his religious colleagues told him to slow down. His answer was simple: we can't wait. When they told him to work through the courts instead of on the streets, he said, we can't wait. When he told them not to resist police officers who were hosing down the students, working people were demanding freedom, he said, we can't wait. And when they told him to come to the table and talk, he said, we cannot wait. And that's my message to all of you today when it comes to education. We can't wait 5 or 8 or 10 more years to transform our failing schools. Right. We can't wait and watch silently as another generation falls by the wayside. We need to act now, and we need to act together. I did not come to Washington to study, to admire the progress facing public education. I came to Washington at the President's request to do something about it. Education is the civil rights issue of our generation, and we must work with a huge sense of urgency and lead with the courage to challenge the status quo that is morally unacceptable and economically unsustainable.